and welcome to the next video. So in this one we're talking about 4 alternative ways to do business. So if you already know, the main spiel, like what people have been doing for years, is called the brick and mortar. But as we've seen during COVID, that was like a big mess, and unfortunately a lot of those businesses became out of business, or they're still struggling, because they have like $5, $6, $10,000 a month in expenses. They got a lot of overhead, and it can be very stressful. A lot of headaches. Securing your lease, and all the overhead, and then you gotta get business over internet, which is even like a higher cost. And if it's like providing food service, then you gotta pay for the heating bills, and then the water bill, the garbage, and it's like all these expenses and everything. So that's why I came out with 4 alternative ways to think out of the box. Let's call this the brick and mortar box. Okay, so we got number one alternative is home as place of business. And in the last one, we were talking about like a daycare business. So that's a good example of someone that works out of their house. Like, customers come to you. They drop off their children, and then you or your staff, whatever, teach the children, take care of the children. That's a good example. And other examples are maybe like you're a UFC fighter, or you're a boxer. You have like stuff set up in your garage, or whatever, like professional. You have a place designated. I knew a person that was a black belt, was a kung fu, and he would bring people in, and they would instruct them there. Or another example is a guitar teacher. You come, or piano teacher. You come to their place of business, and they teach you guitar or piano or whatever. So like I said, nothing is set in stone. You can come with all kinds of ideas. My brother has a mobile business, which brings us to number 2. Maybe you're going to the customer. So a mobile idea is like I said with my brother's business, that you go to the business, and then you do like they provide services for autistic children. So they go and then mobile and go provide the service and take care of the kid and do what they need to do their studies and stuff. So that's an example. Another example is my business, window cleaning, power washing. You're going to the customer, or it could be, or it doesn't have to be the house or whatever. It can be like a mobile detail, or I've even seen people taking care of their dogs. I watched the mobile dog shop, where they'll come and wash the dog and walk the dog or whatever. So that's another mobile example. So that's number 2, going mobile. Number 3 is internet. You can have a home-based business where it's e-commerce. So you don't even have to be out or anything, or even if you want to do like I said about the instructor, guitar lessons. You can do guitar lessons. Somebody is like in another state or another country. They provide the language. So or you can provide online courses, like what I'm doing here, online training, online solutions, whatever. You'd be a consultant. You consult people like let's say like via Zoom or any kind of other conferencing, Facebook Live or whatever ways you can interact with your customer. I've taken singing lessons from somebody in another state, vocal lessons. So the options are limitless. Only your imagination is the limit. And so finally we got number 4, called the piggyback method. So now we're going back, we're kind of scaling up to not so much that we're going to land on being the in a brick and mortar, but say you want to have a little bit of brick and mortar, but with some leverage. So the piggyback method is that leverage. Say you know somebody who has their own art studio, or their own they already have an office, they're already paying a lease or something like that. And I've known a person that used to go to bookkeeping services. He was renting out this little office by himself, and so he was paying the entire cost of that office. So like somebody in his position, say like they're paying $800 a month, or maybe like, that was kind of old school, but that was years back though. Say they're paying $5,000 or something like that. There's some extra space, so you can split that in half, and then you rent from that person. You pay them, and then they pay the lease, or they pay their rent. So that's what I mean by like piggybacking. It's kind of a win-win situation. You are not in it for like the entire whatever the lease is, $3,000, $6,000, $10,000 a month. You just pay half, or maybe this person is renting or bringing in a couple of people, so maybe that's a third, or a fraction of that, whatever. So another example is like a salon. There's a couple salons that I've seen, that they have like the main building, and then each studio, the person rents a little studio out of that, so you don't have to like come up with the whole rent right there. That's a good piggyback method. That is not just based on a personal experience. That's their business model. So they are less likely to being taken advantage of if their business model is set up like that, and everything is also set in stone, because that's how they create it to be. And on the downfall, there's less room for negotiation, because everything's kind of set in stone with that model. But if you are going to get into any kind of personal relationship with anybody, be respectful as possible. Be sorry to say this, but like you want to be empathetic as possible, mature. Make sure that you're getting that person the rent on time, so they're not getting into trouble on the rent. So that's should be pretty standard there. Okay, so that's it for this one. We'll see you for more in the next one.